I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you a test question on trigonometric expressions. You need to determine exact value of cosecant 5 pi by 4 minus secant 5 pi by 3 divided by 1 minus tan 5 pi by 3 cotangent 5 pi by 4. You can pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. Now, whenever you're trying to calculate exact value, it's good to refer to your special triangles, right? So we have two of them to work with. So one is pi by 4 triangle, the other one is pi by 3, pi by 6 triangle. Both are right triangles, right? So let me write down their values. As you know, these are my right triangles. And the values for pi by 3, pi by 6 triangle is 1, 2, and square root 3. This is square root 3. That is, pi by 3 will take here, pi by 3. Okay. And this one is pi by 4. These two sides are equal. Now, pi by 4, I prefer to take square root 2, square root 2, and 1. Since we are talking about the reciprocal functions, we will prefer to write 1, 1, and square root 2, right? Since we are not getting, the number square root 2 in the denominator. So that's the whole idea. We will see. Otherwise, we can rationalize it later. Okay. Now this is first part. We know these two triangles should be used. Now the angles given to us is 5 pi by 4. Now what do you mean by 5 pi by 4? Now this is some work which you should do automatically, but I'm explaining you, and that is why I'm taking time to do it. Normally it is very automatic. When you say 5 pi by 4, well, then we are talking about these pi by 4 angles. And this is starting with 0, 1 pi by 4, 2 pi by 4, 3, 4, and that one is 5 pi by 4, right? Now that means this angle is 5 pi by 4. So when we say 5 pi by 4, we land in quadrant 3. Now, all are positive, all trigonometric ratios are positive in quadrant 1, sine into tan in 3, and cosine is positive in quadrant 4. Now when we talk about cosecant, now cosecant is reciprocal of sine, so it is negative, right? So let me first write all these terms in terms of their related acute angles, right? So let me write that and then we'll work it out. So first step here is consider all this and then translate all this in terms of related acute angles, right? So that is how we are going to do it. Cosecant 5 pi by 4. So we're talking about this angle and we'll translate them into quadrant 1. Now cosecant is negative here, therefore we will write this here as negative cosecant pi by 4. Okay. Minus secant. Secant is reciprocal of cosine, and let us see where this number will land. 5 pi by 3. Now pi by 3, okay, let me make another triangle for pi by 3. You might get confused in this one. Okay, let's make another one. Pi by 3. So pi by 3 means this pi is divided into 3 portions. So 3 and 3 here, 6. So fifth will be somewhere here, right? So that is my 5 pi by 3. Perfect. So you are in quadrant 4, and in quadrant 4 cosine or secant both are positive. Therefore, we will write this as this is negative originally, so we'll maintain that. So we have secant pi by 3. Pi by 3 is my acute angle. Do you understand? That is my acute angle. I mean pi by 3, correct? From here. So if we translate it, it will be same. Okay. Divided by, so we have now divided by 1 minus tan 5 pi by 3. In this quadrant, tan is negative, so we'll make this one positive. Okay. Now there's another cotangent. We'll see that later. But this one becomes. So let me maintain this negative for the time being, and separately write this as 5 pi by 3 will be minus tan pi by 3. I hope that is clear. Okay. So I've replaced this. Cotangent 5 pi by 4. Cotangent in that quadrant, cotangent will be positive, right? Tan is positive, cotangent will be positive. So we'll write this as cot pi by 4. That is the first step. You have to write all your trigonometric ratios in terms of their related acute angles, right? You can also check on my reference on related acute angle. That should help you on this topic. Now, the second point is write down all these numbers, ratios in terms of these numbers using standard special triangles. Cosecant, if you remember SOHCAHTOA, cosecant is reciprocal of sine, right? So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so we'll reverse it. So it's square root 2. So the first one is minus square root 2. Secant pi by 3. Get to this. Secant is reciprocal of cosine, 2 over 1, right? So it's 2. So minus 2 divided by 1. Minus minus becomes plus. Tan of pi by 3. Tan pi by 3, square root 3. Okay. And cotangent pi by 4. Pi by 4 cotangent will be 1 over 1, which is 1, right? So times 1. So that's what you get. So let me rewrite this. So let me take this minus. Okay, we can keep it as such also. Or at times we prefer to write, minus here. Let's write them all with positive sign. 2 plus square root 2 divided by 1 plus square root 3. Now that is what we get. You should never leave the answer with square root in the denominator, and that's the reason why we are going to rationalize it. So rationalization really means multiply and divide by conjugate of the denominator, 1 minus square root 3. If you don't do this last step, you may lose 0.5 marks at least. Okay, so once you do that, in the numerator you have to expand, right? So 2 times 1 is 2. This is minus outside, correct? So let us expand. 2 times 1 is 2 minus 2 square root 3. Square root 2 times 1 is square root 2, so plus square root 2 minus square root 6. In the denominator, a square minus b square, so we get 1 minus 3, which is 2. Now, so that is your numerator. You cannot combine any of these terms. So we have negative here, and you get 2 here. So we get 2 minus 2 square root 3 plus square root 2 minus square root 6 divided by 2. So that is your answer with the negative sign, right? So if you want, you can kind of simplify it. You could have written this in the product form also if you wish. But anyway, that's our final answer. In case you want, you can multiply by minus all these terms, reverse their sign, and then write your answer. Or you can divide. So if I divide by 2, what do I get? So you could say minus half of, let me write it like this, and I get 2 minus 2 square root 3 plus square root 2 minus square root 6. Anyway, that is not a bad way of writing. So you could write like this. So that is how we can write this particular ratio in exact form. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.